Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm going to be doing the It's a New Year book tag, which I was very kindly tagged to do by Read by Jess, who is one of my absolute favourite booktube channels, so I will leave her videos linked down below in the description, as well as the original creators of this tag. I realise it's not really the new year anymore, but I've finished uploading all of my kind of goals, statistic, year wrap-up kind of videos, and I thought this tag was a really great way of kind of summarizing all of that. So the first question is, do you have a Goodreads goal? What is your Goodreads goal for 2020? I actually didn't mention this in my goals and resolutions video because it's not even really something that is an active goal for me anymore. Every year I set my Goodreads challenge at 100 books, and that's something that I feel very comfortable that I will achieve. Like, it doesn't feel particularly like ambitious for me. The past few years I've read well over that. It's like a significant goal for me to be working towards, but it's not a goal that I ever feel any pressure with. If you want to see that video, I will link it down below in the description, and I will also link a video that I did last year about how I managed to read so much if you are someone who is interested in upping the number of books that you want to read in a year. Question 2 is, what are some of your reading goals and challenges for 2020? As I said, I did a full video on that, which I will link down below. But my main one is to tackle my physical TBR. At the start of the year, I had 149 books on my physical TBR. I have since acquired more. That's like my main goal for 2020. I also want to increase the percentage of books that I'm reading from BAME authors. So my main two really, that and hosting the Irish Readathon in March, which there will be announcement videos coming very soon. Question 3 is, what is a reading habit that you would like to leave in 2019 and a new one you would start in 2020? One that I would like to leave in 2019 was something that I ended up doing a bit towards the end of the year, which is I would take books on my commute and then I would end up with anywhere between like 30 to 60 pages left at the end of my commute. I would get home and I wouldn't just read those 30 to 60 pages, and then the book would be left like unfinished for like a few days, because I would be like, oh, I'm not going to take this book with me in the morning because it's not going to last me my journey to work and my journey back. And then like it was ridiculous that I wasn't just reading that amount of pages when I got home. So I really want to leave that habit back in the latter half of 2019. Habits that I want to form in 2020. I do like the idea of DNFing more. I don't tend to do it though, and it's not necessarily that feeling of like, oh no, I've wasted my time on this book. It must contribute to what I've read this year, so I must finish it even though I'm not enjoying it. Like, it's not that. I do think I'm just a bit of a completionist. Like, I do more often than not feel like if I'm going to review a book, I want to read the whole thing, which is like totally personal to me, and I would understand why other people don't do it, because ultimately, like, if you're not enjoying it, you should put it down. But I just don't. I don't think it's ever going to be something that I do regularly, and I hope it's not, because I hope I'm reading books that I at least enjoy enough to finish. But I want to be more open to the idea of it. Question 4 is, do you have any method of tracking your reading other than Goodreads? Yes. So for the past few years, I have recorded a lot of stats in a notebook, stats that are important to me and may not be of interest to anyone else. But things like page numbers, when the book was published, anything like the author's gender, whether they are a person of colour. But this year, excitingly, I'm using Sophie's spreadsheet for the first time, and I'm so excited. It's so beautiful. I don't know why I haven't used it in years previously. I don't love Goodreads. Like, I'm grateful that it counts the books for me, and I like really easily being able to scroll through the covers. I like it as a database of books that I've read. I like having a database of like the Irish books I have, the non-fiction books I have, the classics I have. I don't really use it as a social media, and like I use it very unreliably. You might say that it took me like 2 weeks to read a book, when really I just didn't update it and it only took me a few days. I also vaguely keep track of my reading on my Instagram. If you want to find out what I'm reading during the month, between videos and stuff, that's probably the best place to go. Question 5 is, did you get any books for the holidays you want to prioritize in the new year? Nope, I didn't get any books for Christmas or my birthday, which is also in December. I asked for none. I didn't want any. I do have some book tokens that I need to spend though, so I'll be spending those. Question 6 is, what will be, or was, in my case was, your first read of the new year, and how did you choose? So I read The Book Ninja, which is a book that I kind of enjoyed how bad it was. I got my friends to choose this by doing like a random number selection from my bookshelves, which is something I've been doing a lot recently, getting my mates to choose books for me that way, and I really enjoyed it because I've been a bit like overwhelmed by choice. I don't feel a huge amount of pressure that your first book of the year has to be a great pick. Like, I don't really feel that at all. That was my first book of 2020, and I really look forward to sharing my thoughts with you on that one in my January wrap up. Question 7. Are there any series you want to continue or finish this year? I did do a full video in 2019 on series that I'm in the middle of and whether I want to continue with them or not. That's another one I will leave linked down below in the description. But the main series that I really want to truck on with is Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. I read the first book in December and I loved it. It made my top books of the year. And I have the other 3 books, although I think there's a 5th book out now. But yes, I really want to continue with that series. Whose content are you most excited to watch going into the new year? Everyone's. Obviously, Jess is a big one. She's someone whose videos I always want to like properly like settle down and get cozy and watch. Like, I always want to have like a cup of tea when I watch her videos because it is so much just like sitting down with a friend. Aoife is another one, and I will leave all of the channels that I mentioned linked down below in the description. I've been really enjoying Alice's videos from the Book Castle recently, and I've been really enjoying videos from Your True Shelf. I will leave all of these videos linked down below. Question 9. Are there any readathons you're anticipating or want to participate in? The Irish Readathon is coming back in March, and I will be co-hosting this alongside Aoife and Elaine. We are so excited to be hosting this in its 3rd year. If you don't know, the Irish Readathon is basically like a very casual reading initiative that encourages people to read more Irish literature than they normally would. These can be classics, they can be contemporary, they can be novels, they can be non-fiction. And as long as you're reading one book by an Irish author in the month of March, you are participating. Announcement videos for that will be coming very soon, but other readathons that I tend to participate in every year, I'm really excited to participate in Thrillerathon this year. I don't really read many thrillers at all, but I normally have like a couple on my shelf, and I feel like Thrillerathon is a really great way of motivating me to do that. I also always participate in Victober and Nonfiction November. Love both of those readathons. And I'm also really excited to participate in the magical read-alongs, readathons, the Owls and the Newts that are hosted by the Book Roast. I think they're probably 2 of the most like exciting and interesting and creative readathons that there is on BookTube. Question 10 is, are there any debuts that you're massively anticipating for 2020? I do have a list of anticipated releases, but none of them were debuts. I don't tend to put debuts on my most anticipated list just because like I don't tend to know much about the authors. I don't have a signal as to whether I'm going to love these books or not. Also, I haven't been as good this year at checking catalogues that I normally am. And the final question is to shout out a smaller creator that you discovered in 2019. I mentioned her briefly already, but the channel Your True Shelf I've really been enjoying. Her videos are like really relaxed and like casual. I feel like she reads a really good mix of like literary stuff, but also kind of contemporary commercial kind of fiction. She reads a really great mix of frontlist and backlist. I just feel like she's a really genuine person who I love like spending time with. Her channel's like really cool and really chilled, and she seems like such a nice person. That's it. If you have any thoughts on anything that I've mentioned during this video, do leave me a comment down below. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you in my next video.